Good evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the Cali Effect. I am here with Alex Weiner, and today he is going to be playing a very interesting deck. What did you play and go undefeated with today?
I played Zoodiac Mermail, or as I call it, Seaworld.
Oh man, that seems really good. So please tell us, so much interesting cards, are all the interesting cards you're playing inside of this deck?
Okay.
Alright, I've got the one diva.
Oh man, wow. Man, so much innovation. Okay, I'll stop. Alright, I'll stop. Go ahead.
I've got the one diva. The two aqua spirits.
Oh, if you can actually explain it, because some people actually don't.
For diva, or
Yeah, for everything.
Okay.
Just like a brief explanation would be awesome.
all right, yeah. It goes into the Neptibus. You can also do other cute plays with it. Like I'll explain that when I get into the extra deck. But it just summons a level 3 lower sea serpent. Two aqua spirit.
Oh my god, this innovation is getting deeper. Okay. Alright, I'll stop.
The aqua spirit is just to make some more rank 4s. With Toad still being a very good answer to things, and even Honor Arc is really good.
Okay.
So being able to just get another 4 on board to overlay is really good.
Okay.
Swing for 24.
Take.
Two Gamma Seals.
Okay.
Gamma Seal out stuff like Dark Lord, out stuff like the other opponent's Trident.
Okay.
And it's a water if I need to pitch it.
Yeah, it's also an aqua for Toad, right?
Yeah, like
Okay.
if I have it in hand, I can pitch it for Toad and not lose my board presence.
Okay.
Trading?
The 3 Nept. Neptibus is obviously the heart and soul of the deck. He pitches the Dragoons, gets you into your plays.
Swing for 24.
3 Infantry. Infantry just pops face ups.
Okay. Move it over a little to the left.
This way?
Left. My left.
Okay. 3 Infantry, he pots face ups. He also gives you an extra normal summon of a level 4 lower sea serpent.
Okay.
So you can make some pretty interesting plays with that.
Cards.
1 Marksman. I used to play it at 2, but when I added the Zoo Engine, I had to cut it down to 1.
Okay.
Just because you need the space, and you're not really that worried about back row. This is a deck that plays very well around D-Barrier. 2 Dragoons, because it's limited to 2. I'd play 3 if I could.
Okay. Would you play 1 if you could?
No. This card is like...
Nope.
This card is the only reason Neptibus
That's
is
a
good.
level 1 2.
Okay.
So, I mean, you need it. The 1 gun, I might cut it just because it hasn't really been paying off. Reborning the Mermails isn't really that relevant. You just kind of blow everything out too quickly.
Okay.
2 Pike. I bumped Pike up to 2 just because of the play you can make with the Sphere. How you can summon him during your opponent's turn, pitch the infantry from hand.
Is that a rare pike?
I have the super, my friend is holding
But is that a
on.
rare pike?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. Just making sure you're a pump. Alright. I'll stop giving you trash, alright? Alright.
Alright, 3 Teus, just because you need the pitch fodder.
Okay.
This one's the best one to use to bait out stuff like opponent's Tridents.
Okay.
Because you can summon it and pitch the infantry, and then they're going to want to pop
And
it.
now they have to.
Now
or
they
they'll
have
lose
to
it.
pop this, or they're just going to lose the Trident, and then you go off with whatever is else, like
Okay.
whatever's left in your hand. 3 Megalo, because he's the boss monster.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he attacks twice, he puts out lots of damage.
got this.
He searches the spell and the trap, which are both very important.
Okay. So you run one spell and 1 trap.
Yeah, I run one of the Biscale Mizuchi and one of the Sphere.
Okay. I thought that was very interesting to run 1 spell and 1 trap of the Mermail cards. You know, especially when you're running 3 Mermail targets. You know.
The 3 Zoodiac Rap here.
Okay.
These are the only one of the monsters that the only one of the Zoodiac monsters that I run. It's the only relevant one that's just splashable into any deck.
Okay.
You know, it lets you make the plays where you just make massive boards.
Okay.
And for the last of the monsters, 2 Maxi.
Okay.
Just because since it is Mermail, it still is a deck you want to go second in.
Okay.
So opening the Maxi against a Zoodiac player, or even just pretty much anything in this meta, you're going to draw a couple cards.
Okay.
Get in your pieces. The 1 scale is not really
How many
that.
monsters do you run? Sorry to cut you off.
I think it's 29.
Okay. And then the
It's
one.
either 28 or 29.
Okay. And then the 1 scale just basically turns off a lot of spell cards, right? Like Dark Hole.
It's not even really for the spell. I use it more often or not because it lets me get the OTK.
Okay.
That extra 800 is more relevant than negating the spells.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, you know, it helps when people try to Raigeki your board, or if they try to activate some other kind of cheeky spell.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's just the extra damage.
Okay.
The 1-for-1, it just gets you into your Neptibus.
Okay.
You need board wipe.
So the Raigeki and the Dark Hole to clear their board and then they'll.
Yeah, because like, if you don't have a way to bait out the Trident, then you better have a way to destroy it. Otherwise, they're just going to pop the Neptibus on summon and you're going nowhere.
Okay.
So, The triple instant fusion. I only run one Norden, but it's recyclable with the Toad.
Okay.
And it's so important that you see the Norden that it's worth running the 3 fusion just so you can get it.
Okay. So what do you think about Sea Monster Theseus?
I was running it in Pure Mermail for a while, but there's just no room for it in the extra deck of for the Zoodiac variant.
Okay.
It's really good because you can make plays with like the Vermilion mech and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
The 3 Barrage.
Stop right there. So you're telling me the most expensive deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Just got more expensive?
Yeah.
So if you're broke, you just might not want to touch this deck.
Yeah. The 3 Barrage. This is the card that you use more often than not to bait out your opponent's stuff. Because if they go first, they set up their board, and you open like this in Ineptibus, you play this first. They're going to use everything in their power to either stop this or stop the rats that it brings out, or the extra deck Zoodiacs that it brings out. And then you look at them and laugh when you normally Ineptibus, and they have no resources left to go anywhere.
Okay.
And then the last card is the 1 spell, or the 1 trap. More often than not, you use it to summon Pike and Pop.
Okay.
But
because Pike would summon itself, and then you discard the infantry. You wouldn't gain its effect, but you'd still be able to pitch for cost.
Yeah, it negates the effect, but you can still pitch for cost. So you pitch the infantry and you pop a face up.
Okay. Okay.
I did use it today to summon a Megalo to swing for game.
Okay.
But that was just kind of in a dire situation. More often than not, you use the Pike play.
Okay.
And that's it for the main deck. That's 40 cards.
Now show us your 18 card extra deck.
It's 15 cards. You run 1 Norden, just because it's Norden. It's important. Brings back the Dragoons.
Is it doing end phase?
The Tatsunoko allows you to sync from hand, which opens up really interesting Trishula plays and Leo. Leo is a card that the meta has a really hard time dealing with right now.
Okay.
Quandax. This is one of the cards that I said was kind of cute with the Diva into Infantry.
Okay.
You Diva into Infantry, make the Quandax, and now if you have the Aqua Spirit in hand, you banish the Infantry to special the Aqua Spirit, and since it's a level 4 water, you can make the Bahamut Toad off of 2 cards.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. The 1 copy of Trish.
You don't have to explain cards like Trish.
Leo, like I said, untargetable, very hard to get over. The 1 copy of Toad. Negate. Recycle either Dragoons, Neptibus, Norden, whatever you feel you need.
Okay.
The Dweller, just because it's still Mermail, so you're going to pump up all your stuff. You're going to stop any potential grave effects. Even though grave effects aren't really that relevant, it still pushes for the extra damage.
Okay.
The 1 copy of Bahamut summons the Toad. The 1 Emerald. Emerald's really mostly just for the Zoodiac plays. Because when you make the Trident after all of that stuff, you've got the 2 extra Rapiers. You make the Emerald recycle, get an extra draw, and then you can go from there.
Okay.
The Honor Arc. The Honor Arc is something that's really interesting with the Zoodiac engine. Because let's say you're going second and the Emerald isn't going to benefit you. You can use those 2 Rapiers to make the Honor Arc and suck up a monster. And the reason Honor Arc over Castell is because since it's a water, if you don't use the Rapiers, like let's say you instant fuse Norden Dragoons gets the effect because it's a water.
Okay.
So that's why you play that over the Castell. For the Zoodiacs, you run pretty much just 1 of each. You don't really ever get the search off the Broad Bowl because I don't run any of the extra targets. I did run Bearman at first, but I ended up cutting it. It wasn't really that good.
Told you.
So it's just the 1-ofs just to have extra materials on the Giant during the end. And then the last extra deck card is the Gaios.
That was definitely
negated from field. Agree.
Gaios is really good. Just effect negation. Level 5 or higher can attack. So if you're up against like Infernoids or whatever, it's pretty decent, especially with the spell because that pumps him up to 36.
Okay.
So now he can negate all of the Infernoids.
Yeah.
And then at that point, where do they really go?
Oh, and they can attack too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So like, where do they really go from there? My token.
Yeah. Okay. That was an extra deck card.
Okay. 2 DD Crow. DD Crow just handles the meta really well right now.
Yeah.
Getting rid of Infernoids, getting rid of Fairy Tale Snows. 2 Ghost Ogres. Just kind of another meta call.
Okay.
The 1 copy of Gomasil, just so I have the 3rd if I need it. 2 Chalice, just effect negation. This hits stuff like Vanity's Fiend, Dark Law. Twisters, never know what kind of back row you're going to run into.
Okay.
The My Bodies are mostly for the Zoodiacs, just because it gets rid of the Trident.
Makes sense.
And then the anti-spells are...
When you go first.
Yeah, because Metal Foes are one of the decks you have to go first against. And so siding these in against the Metal Foes is just a blowout.
Okay. What's that last card you holding?
It's my other marksman that wasn't in the deck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of there.
All right, here you go with Sneaky Alex with the 17 card extra deck. Tell us what exactly is your hardest matchup? I know you said Metal Foes. Is there any other hard matchups?
People are starting to play Cosmo again, just because untargetable, preparing for Link format.
Okay.
Cosmo's always been hard for Mermail, just because the Dark anything that clears Neptibus from the start of your turn before it can use its effect. Other than that, it's pretty good. It plays well around D-Barrier. It plays well around the artifacts.
So is it safer to say that Mermail's it's not necessarily great, like an overwhelming matchup against one deck. It's just really good against a lot of meta cards right now, like D-Barrier and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's very hard to play around, because like you're not playing Zoodiacs. You're playing Mermail, and the Zoodiacs are there to bait things out for the Mermails to play safely.
Okay.
That's really all it is.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. This has been Alex Weiner, one of the premier players on the Cali Effect, even though you guys have never seen him win a game. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy your dice roll format.